Our next newbie series is Kinato's Magic. Like Underdoctor, I believe that this series shows some promise. That being said, I think it is doing way too much introducing of characters and not building up who they are. So far, I would hazard to guess that on average during these first 9 chapters, the series has introduced at least 2 major characters and has taken no time to spend with them understanding who they actually are. If anything, I would have been happy to spend a little time with just Jean and the main girl. I don't even remember her name at this point, but instead, it has been a parade of names and faces that I definitely don't remember. And frankly, it's like the author doesn't care if you know them either. My recommendation for this series is just to slow down. Give us some extended time with some of the characters you introduced. Maybe set up a bit of a longer mission where we get to spend some time with people. We're just throwing things at the wall at this point and seeing what sticks. You've got something here already. Just take your time. Let us take our time with a sample of my reviews for Kinato's Magic in 2026. Kinato's Magic is about a mage. Wow, there are a lot of those these days, who uses his magic as an all-purpose healer. So really going right up against Underdoctor, aren't you? Okay. Grandma gives him the push to head out, so he meets them at the gate. And it's gone. They were actually bad and selling him into slavery, so that's nice. He gets thrown into a cell with a captain of a real adventuring squad who is eating grass. He was captured by a honeypot trick with a bunny girl and a sleeping potion, which I get, my guy. Very nice first chapter. I like Kinato and I like Jane. I think that Lene just being a straight up high school girl for no reason at all is a little ridiculous, but I'll let that slide for now. The art is pretty good too. Happy to keep up with the series, and I think it could be a fine addition to the magazine. Let's see where it goes from here. You know, I really like this chapter. They keep adding characters and I find myself enjoying them. Also, the art is still really good, and I think that the humor is pretty good too, like a 95% hit rate, which is pretty good. Looking forward to keeping it up. Lene is a gambling addict and immediately buys lottery tickets upon coming into town before Jean shows them to the guild. It has a false front because the real building is a bit shabby. Honestly, I didn't think it looked that bad. Could have just used the normal building. I mean, it was a funny gag. It just, you maybe make the building look a little worse. Because I was like, okay, they look the same. Of the Iron Fangs also show up. Kaminagi, who is a sexily dressed lady swordsman who is off the market, fellas, because she's into the ladies. And Lene is her gal, and she's willing, and Lene just goes with her and rolls with the punches, and, you know, she's over the top, but she's like, you know, she's on board. This series is really fun. I like the humor in it, and the characters are super over the top, but in opinion, not a bad way. Also, it really helps at how well the reaction shots are done, and just the general, like, emotive panels and faces are done for all the characters. Hopefully there are a bit more straight men added to the group to balance out all of the absurdity, because I think that there is the possibility that it could get a little too wacky. All that being said, though, it's a very fun read. I do enjoy reading it. Kinato introduces the concept of having supports in a party, and saying that even though he can throw dodgeballs, if you really want to use him effectively, you have to use his support abilities to the fullest, which honestly is fair. Then he uses his magic on her, and she, feels like she is taking a bath, and we get to see that visually. Look, I know that early on in a series is a really nerve-wracking time, but this level of fan service is not needed, my friends. You have something good going for you so far. Don't be that worried. Just don't be that worried. You're doing fine. It's looking like a fine series so far. I'm glad that they just might shift the focus back in this series on him being a support and how his support abilities will help everybody around him, because honestly, that's just in my opinion, a better way of going about things with this series, and there's just more interesting paths available to you as opposed to having the typical shonen protagonist route of having, you know, big strong man do strong things. And, you know, keep up the good work. Stay away from too much fan service, okay? You'll need some Seitei magic before you know it if you keep this up. Anyway, I liked the design for the delinquent leader guy. I really liked how he looked. We're getting a lot of stuff thrown at us with this series, and I'm still digging it, but I am ready to have a train leave the station soon, just because, like, it's a lot. It's a lot, and like, there's a lot of really big personalities, and they need time to breathe, because if you don't give them time to breathe, then we don't have time to breathe, and then we suffocate and die. So a shield and an archer. Looks like we're getting most of the party classes sorted out. Anyway, this was a nice chapter. I like the art of this series. Let's see where we go from here. As if we didn't have enough characters, now we have two more. One of them is another sexy lady, and another is a, hey look, it's a rival character. Can you all see that this guy is a rival yet? Yeah, a little overly telegraphed maybe. But we learned that there are other guilds, and that this one is a big old super guild that is, you know, next to the startup guild, and the startup guild is trying to get in on the turf of this super big, you know, mega guild. Kinato does his thing to one of the suits of armor, and we learn that it was actually created by the missing person that they are looking for, and Kinato can use his magic to help find the genius inventor's location. Fine chapter. But like I mentioned last week, I think we need to be given some time to sink into who these characters are that just keep being introduced to us. We're only 7 chapters in, and you can give us some time to learn about who these people are instead of just continually throwing new people at us. That would help. It's not completely overwhelming. It's just everything just feels very surface level. And there's been some characters that I've really enjoyed. Like Jean, I wish he was still around. We don't see Jean at all. Weird Princess Night Lady, she was fine. Either way, just give us some time with these people. Like, you're not letting us breathe. Just please let us breathe. I think it will be fun to see how different people, you know, think of and react to this relaxing feeling going forward. I think that's an opportunity to be creative with the like 500 million characters that are, I'm sure, going to be introduced. Again, let's calm down with those, okay? Like, I know that these two characters were fairly important, I guess, but, you know, let's give us some time to, like, actually figure out who these people are. Kinato and the rival! Guys, look! Guys, it's the rival. Are you seeing he's the rival? I really need you to know this guy is his rival. Anyway, they talk about how they're rivals and whatever, and they're going to be fighting from now on, and Jean is getting called into the big boys table. Happy to not get new characters this chapter. Need to keep spending time with these folks, and I'm happy that we were able to this time, and hopefully that will continue going forward.